Oh my gosh, Virgo, this is an amazing month ahead for you, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign folk, because you're going to have the Venus transit through the house of you, and she's going to give you a super glow up, and it's going to also offer you a lot of success when it comes to things to do with travel, foreign lands, academic environments, and even a renewed sense of faith and hope in your life. So this is a wonderful time for you, Virgos, and we're going to talk about all the details of all of the events that happen for you in the month of October in this video today. Now, before we go on, let me tell you a bit about myself if you're brand new here. My name is Lori Lothy, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac and whole sign houses. This is not sidereal or Indian astrology. Also, I am putting on a webinar because we have two eclipses in October, and those eclipses will not be included in this video in any great depth because they're so complicated but so exciting. So the eclipse is happening on the 14th of October, and the 28th will be in my eclipse webinar free offer. Come join me. Description box below to sign up for that free webinar, over 90 minutes long, describing in great detail how to use the eclipse for your benefit. So let's get going and talk about the sky. One thing about this month to say, to start off, is that 3 planets change signs. And this means there's a whole new feeling to the month of October. Even with the eclipses, which are intensity, eclipse intensity is not usually even felt, honestly, until 3 to 4 months after the eclipse. So really, we're talking about the energy of October being a shift of planetary focus. Number one, let's start with Virgo, because that's the best story for you. And it's going to improve your health, your face, your looks, your sense of self-love. You're going to get a glow up here. So especially when it comes to your health, okay? So what happens is that Venus has been spending 4 months in your 12th house. That started back in June, finally coming to a close this October the 8th. That long stay is rare. We haven't seen anything like that in our lifetimes. And honestly, it may have not been all that great. You may have felt you were dealing up, intense conflicts and inner strife. Women not having your back, maybe hidden enemies who are females, difficulties with addictions, pleasure-seeking behavior, bad pleasures over the top, a kind of not getting a grip on things to do with your own sabotage and self-sabotage, whether it's a real addiction or just a sabotaging life strategy or hack, or maybe you just like procrastinate, and that could be your self-sabotage. So when Venus is seeking pleasure in the 12th house, which she does, you may not have a handle on the ways you undo yourself. June, July, August, September, into October 8th. Now she's out of there, and that's the good news. And you don't have to worry about your own pleasure-seeking behaviors having gotten away from you. And you're going to get a handle on them, because as she moves into Virgo, she wants to improve your health. Virgo is a sign of health. You are a Virgo. Health and service are part of your narrative. And so she moves into your sign on October the 8th through to November the 8th. This can make you very popular, very appealing, very charismatic. Literally, your face may glow, your skin may glow. You may just look like you had some kind of cosmetic procedure, and people are like, hey, you're looking so good. Joe or Sue, what's up? And you're like, I've got Venus in my first house, that yearly transit that really looks good on you. If you want to make big asks and you really want to get things that you desire from people, situations, bosses, this is a good transit, October 8th to November 8th, to get those things requested of those that you want them from, and get probably a good 90% yes rate back, because you are likable. People want to support you. You just kind of have a charm offensive. You're not trying. It's just there. Now, at the same time Venus is moving through your first house, she's traveling with Juno. And Juno is a goddess of commitment, vows, and contracts. This could open up some new commitments and vows and contracts in work, with relationships, with even lovers and romance and children. It's just kind of like how you want to deepen a commitment in your life and really connect to it. Now, to be clear, sometimes Juno also says, let's split up. She may just be as much the goddess of marriage and connected relationship as, let's call it, quits. I've seen it over and over again. So if any kind of relationship is getting ready to end, having Saturn opposite Venus, Saturn in the house of the marriage or business partner, and Venus going through the house of you with Juno, could be that energy this month as well. But for most of you, it's just going to be a feel-good, glow-up transit. You may as well enjoy it. You've got all kinds of Venusian, seductive, persuasive power, and honestly better health and better glow to your whole being, how you appear and how you feel about yourself and your life. With Mars moving into a new sign as well this month, and that's on October the 12th. He's getting his, is it October the 12th? Let me double check my math. Yeah, so October 12th to November 24th, Mars is moving his body into your third house in Scorpio. Now, this is a house of travel, domestically or short distances. It's a house of schooling and learning if it's a skills-based education, like how to do something rather than academia and ivory tower. It can be energy around your sibling, especially siblings and especially younger. And Mars moving through your third house may involve literally you wanting to do a lot of movement in local area neighborhoods. So as you take up a jogging practice in your neighborhood, you might start to work out more at the gym in your local neighborhood. You might get more physically active. You have to be careful when Mars is in the third house for incidents with vehicles and fender benders and stuff. But he's in really good dignity here. He's in the sign of Scorpio, his home kingdom. So I'm not exactly worried. And he sextiles and flows to your ascendant as well from his dignity. So again, more likely just a lot of wanting to move. Now you could change your neighborhood. You may move to a new home or a new neighborhood as a result of this transit during this time. Really, it's a long transit. It just starts October 12th, but it goes on till the third week of November. Mars is invisible at this time as well, and he will be invisible October, November, and December. So he's operating in a very stealthy, sly way. You may not actually move. You may plan the move. You may be kind of low-key plotting a trip rather than taking it. You may be engaging in some exercise in your hood, but it might be kind of, I don't know, invisible exercise. No one knows you're doing it. You're just on the side going off and exercising and don't tell people. Who knows? Now, when it comes to siblings, especially a younger sibling, that can be conflict with that sibling, especially a younger sibling. And yet, because he's invisible, I think it's kind of low-key conflict. Don't make major decisions with Mars invisible. I'll be doing a whole video on that around third house matters. It really isn't a good time, for instance, to make a major decision about a sibling or a neighborhood thing, etc. Just kind of lay low until it becomes visible in January, and he'll be out of there by then anyway. One of the things about this transit of Mars here is this is your online world, social media platforms, website, blogs, periodicals, magazines, writing projects, communications projects. You might be very ambitiously focused if you do any of those things. If that's a part of your world, especially in your work world, then you're really driving and passionate and focused on getting that website up, getting that social media stuff all figured out. You're really kind of opening into like a drive, passion, and will around the online social media website business type model, if that's a part of your strategy during this transit of Mars. Mercury will also change signs 3 times. He has been in Virgo since the third week of August and is finally almost 2 months later leaving on October the 5th. That's an extraordinary stay. We haven't seen that duration since 2016. So because of his long stay here in the sign of Virgo, because of a retrogradation, you've been going through a probable time, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising, of really deep rethinking and ideating and changing your mind about things to do with your body, your health, yourself, but also your significant love relationship. You may have been like literally writing out notes to yourself about the dream partner that you really want, or writing down ideas about how to deal with the relationship you're in. You would focus your communication a lot on trying to connect to your partner. But with that Saturn in your 7th house, some of that interest in deeper communication with your significant other may have fallen on crossed arms that aren't really listening to you. And if that has been the case, unfortunately, Saturn will be in your marriage type significant relationship house for a long, long while. So you're not going to get rid of that anytime soon until February of 26. So it's time to figure out if that relationship is a hardship or if it's something you really want. Now, because Mercury is leaving Virgo and moving into your 2nd house on October the 5th, he's going to start blessing your finances, and he's going to be in that part of your sky for quite a bit of time. He's going to be trundling through your significant money, spending, buying, selling, earning money part of the sky until the 21st of October, October 5th to the 21st. This is a time where you can negotiate a new contract for your work. You can ask for a raise. You can get a new job quite often, sign a new deal for work, negotiate things with your employer. You may also be able to sell things that you own to make money, or even marketing, merchandising, and selling can be something that you're just doing to make money. If your career involves sales, you're going to be rationing up your success in a sales type environment. Mercury here allows you to do some research and study into foods you may or may not want to eat or substances you may or may not want to ingest between October 5th and the 21st. And also, it may be a good time with Mercury here to have conversations, because it is the house of speech, that you really want or need to have with a boss. And if, clear the air kind of conversations in a work or career environment. And those could really work on your behalf. And you could benefit so greatly from that because, of course, remember, you're charming and likable with that Venus first house transit at the same time, giving you double down success on, as I said, the asking for what you want. But clearing the air in conversations with work figures can also be successful, or authority figures, or even professors and teachers, but people above you. As you move into the month, we're going to go through this now in a chronological order. We're going to go step by step through some of the big deal events here. Now, first of all, number one, there is this energy at the beginning of the month that's really lovely, and that's going to be the movement of Mercury at the very end of the sign of you, the last few degrees. So any of you Sun, Moon, and Mercury, Sun, Moon, and rising sign Virgos around anywhere from, 25 to 29 degrees. This is so good for you. This is going to happen around October 1st to the 3rd. You'll even feel it on the 4th. And that is going to be a flow between Mercury in the house of you and Pluto in the house of your children, your entrepreneurial business, your sex life, your joy, your enthusiasm, your natural talents. Now, if you're in a relationship, this could be a real breakthrough energy around that romantic love relationship regarding conversations and deeper levels of excavation, or going deep under the surface of the issues you may be experiencing in your sexual life with that person. If it's not that, it may be about your children. And this is, again, a powerful transformative communication or conversation with your children, or a child of one of your children. And, basically, if you're an entrepreneur, this is a lovely time for new ideas to kickstart some entrepreneurial activities, October 1st to the 3rd. At the same time that this flow is happening, there's some difficult times with Neptune in the house of your significant business and love partnership, opposite that Mercury in your first house. This is definitely a time in which there could be tension in a significant relationship because of confusion or misunderstanding, and maybe your partner's confusion, not even yours. And again, Mercury's in great dignity, and he's facing off with Neptune to clear the fog in an existing business or love relationship, or potentially with a customer, client, or something like that as well. Moving in chronological order, then on October the 8th to the 10th, we have what I'm calling in this month's series, the gnarly week. It's not easy when you have Mars squaring Pluto, which is what's happening as Mars moves through Libra with that south node. It's even more challenging, squaring Pluto in Capricorn. This 8th to the 10th tension in the sky is something potentially, to do with the energy of Mars moving through Libra, your house of food and things you ingest. What do you need to get out of your system? What do you need to move out of your food style? What do you need to eliminate from things you put in your mouth? Now, don't forget, Mars would have been in Libra for quite a while, right? The end of August, 3rd, I can't remember his time frame, but 6 weeks. And he does not leave until the 12th. So the 12th, brain come back online. Yes, the 12th of October, when I talked about all the sibling things and the travel. So this is kind of a final say that Mars may have about time to quit the vape, quit the wine, ditch the gluten, stop the Haagen-Dazs, whatever you're eating. He likes to eliminate things. And with that south node that he's connecting to, it really is for a lot of you about eliminating a food substance. But however, it can also be about quitting a job. So I'm going to say October 8th to the 10th, some of you may quit a job, or you may eliminate significantly something that's not good for you to eat or put in your mouth. Again, addictions included. And at the same time that's happening, the square to Pluto is a square to a pleasure. Let's cut out that pleasure. Let's cut out that, thing that you can't avoid because you think it brings you great pleasure, Pluto in the 5th house, but it's really undermining you. Venus will oppose Saturn at the very same time. Venus is, as we know, in the house of you, glowing you up. Saturn is your marriage partner across the way, October 8th to 10th, or business partner, or legal contracts of any kind. Tension there. Legal contracts around work, legal contracts around property, legal contracts around your marriage vows. Something is really hard on that time frame on the 8th to the 10th, where you again, if you quit a job, it could be you're going to break your terms of service with an employer. That's all that is, really. Or just decide to, cut out of some kind of obligation that you've made to some other person on the 8th to the 10th. And that Venus opposite Saturn can be really you stepping into a sense of self-worth and self-love as you make your case in a difficult situation with a business or love partner. On October the 12th to the 14th, Mars is going to trine Uranus in such a way we have not seen since 1995. So this is significantly rare. And before that, 1965. So Mars will be moving through Scorpio, his home sign, and that's wonderful. He just gets in there on the 12th, and 12th to the 14th, around 0 and 1 degrees of your third house of travel, siblings, local neighborhood, online world. He flows to Saturn in your house of commitments, contracts, legal obligations, agreements, significant business and love partnerships. Certainly, though, this can look like a really positive development where you are going to travel maybe with a significant love partner, October 12th to the 14th, and that could be very good. Or you're going to create some kind of contracts or agreements regarding business, marketplace, audience, and outreach as it applies to your house of the local neighborhood, brick and mortar retail and stores, or your virtual neighborhood and your online world. This is hard work, okay? This is getting things done. And if you have an online business, especially, you're really driving with achievement, success, and finish line willpower to finish something that can be quite successful and enduring in terms of what you wish to offer clients, audiences, and others. So it can be very businessy for some of you Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising people, where you're just going to drive to complete that project, finish that website, get everything you need done so you can give this Saturnian gift to your audience, right? Something of value, lasting value you think is worthwhile. Moving forward, October the 19th to the 21st, but on the 20th exactly, Mercury moves into the heart of the sun, called a cazimi in Libra. This is at 26 degrees of Libra. It's on the south node, and it's with Persephone, the asteroid of how we can take what could be a victimizing circumstance and become victorious over it. Therefore, there's something about a victory on the financial front through letting go, releasing, and surrendering, but also redefining what success means financially for you on that October 19th to the 21st time frame. There is a square to Pluto as well, creating a kind of Pluto at the bending of the nodes of fate tension in a romantic part of your chart, or a child relationship that you have with your child. You could also look, perhaps be cautious, like a difficult circumstance around pregnancy for you as a Virgo. If being pregnant is possible and it's not what you want, fertility goddess Venus can help you get pregnant. But as you see, there's a lot of tension in the sky of various kinds of ways that could say that you may not even be wanting to be pregnant, So keep that in mind too. So here we have this cazimi. It's in Libra, which is your house of speech, house of earnings, house of money. It's a reset button. You're resetting something to do with your earnings strategy as a result of the 19th to the 21st of the month event. But you may have to really come to terms with something about your relationship with that lover, that sexual partner, your romance, or your entrepreneurial path that you've been on or will want to go on. So example, some of you may quit your job to start your entrepreneurial business, or some of you may quit your entrepreneurial business and start a job. All of those kinds of things are really intensely happening for you as a result of that cazimi. Now, the 20th is a cazimi. Come to my webinar, learn how to harness this stuff. I'll be having that. I won't be putting the details in this description box, I don't think, but I may. And there's a free classes with me, but on Zoom. But with that Pluto in the 5th house, you may have to kind of terminate something that is a pleasure. We're back to that. Do you have a pleasure or something that you ingest that really needs to go? Because I'm going to tell you that cazimi could bring you to the end of a long-standing love affair with something that's not good for you. Again, something you eat or drink or put in your mouth, including things you smoke. So that is going to be a turning point on that story coming up for you. And it may be gritty, but very powerful. And the cazimi happening on the 20th may take up to, 2 weeks for you to see the results of it. onward we go to one of the happiest weeks of the month of October, the October 21 to 24 timeframe. That third week of October has got beautiful energy in the sky. Venus is loving up Jupiter in a trine. Jupiter in Taurus is in your academic, foreign land, foreign shores, visas, legal court matters. You're guaranteed, by the way, Virgo, to succeed in foreign lands, foreign travel, even foreign moves. Your things to do with judges favoring you, book publishing going successfully, academia going super swell. And although Jupiter is retrograde until December 29th, it's still Jupiter up there, and he is going over old ground in all those areas I described. It's really good for third marriages as well. And what's going to happen is Venus is going to trine him from the house of you. You are having luck and success in those ninth house stories. I just mentioned them all. And that's really lovely, October 21 to 24. But at the same time, we have another positive thing happening. The sun moving through the sign of Scorpio will come into a flow trine of luck energy with Saturn. Now, the sun will be moving in Scorpio, right? Because it's Scorpio season with Mars. So Sun Mars is turbocharged ambition, will, and drive, commander-in-chief energy flowing with the sun is flowing with that Mars co-presence to Saturn. And that could open up some real blessings with audience, marketplace, clients, business partnerships, and significant primary love relationships. But it may be through a journey or a trip or a course or a learning or something to do with even dating if you're single. You're so captivating with that Venus by going on Hinge or Tinder or any of these dating platforms. Really looks good on you October 24th, 1st to 24th. You could really find yourself finding the person that you want to be with, actually, if you're single, through travel or dating apps. And then as we move forward into the next story. On the 27th to the 30th, there's going to be a condition where Mars will oppose Jupiter. Mars is going to oppose Jupiter going through Scorpio, Jupiter and Taurus. Haven't seen that since 1999. Well, it's going to be kind of a showdown, and it's very explosive when you see Mars-Jupiter things, because Jupiter blows up what it connects with, and Mars is already in his home dignity quite strong. He's stronger than Jupiter because Jupiter's retrograding. So it's like, what does Mars want to blow up in your third house? Do you want to terminate or sever a sibling relationship, a cousin relationship, a childhood friendship? Do you want to make a move to a new neighborhood and you're going to cut out of the one you're in? And it feels very explosive and very intense. Are you having an explosion with a professor or a father figure? Jupiter in the ninth house. Don't know exactly, but Mercury is with Mars at the time. So it can be very explosive conversations, very intense conversations, October 27th to the 30th. So be cautious there. I mean, there is intensity. It's like, holy man. Oh my duck. Okay. So be careful for that Mars opposite Jupiter narrative. And that's happening around 11 degrees of Scorpio. Therefore, if your Virgo sun, moon, and rising is near 11 degrees, 3 degrees on either side, it's really feeling intense for you. Lastly, sometimes the third house isn't about you. It's about a sibling having a problem, a cousin having a problem, a childhood friend having a problem. Lastly, you could also have big explosive energy around a trip that you want to take and making massive communications, travel plans, like busting out and going for it in a super big way. But it may be also very an intense energy around travel and travel plans, October 27th through the 30th. We do tend to finish strong here, I have to say. We get Venus trining Uranus at the end of the month, and this is yay! This is like, remember when Venus was in a trine to, what was the date of that? When Venus was in a trine to Jupiter, October 21st to 24th, now Venus is going to trine Uranus in the same blessing zone. So there's unexpected, delightful surprises of some sort to do with your travel, foreign lands, court and legal matters, book publishing, third marriages. I'm giving you ninth house stuff, academia, and professors. Like, honestly, it could just be as simple as my Virgo rising daughter getting 100% on a test and finding out she got some kind of breakthrough in her academic environment. She's in university. So whatever is going on here, though, it will feel good. It could also be a breakthrough in your spiritual faith, or a breakthrough, a sudden, epiphany about God and the way reality works, or a sudden up level of hope and faith and optimism about spirituality, God, and the universe is a friendly place. Uranus is so unpredictable, I can't tell you what it is. Even an unexpected travel opportunity to a foreign land and you're delighted and you can't wait to go or plan that trip. That's how you end up on Halloween, October 31st. So enjoy the ride. I'm glad you're here to listen to my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And one of the things I would say to you, I have somebody trying to come into my room and I have no idea why, but we're going to remove that person from the room. I think I just did it. If you want to check out my Patreon community where you're going to get early access to all of these videos before the public, ad-free, forever ad-free, as well as up to 3 meetings with me in Zoom a month just for Patreons to learn to talk astrology. You come join me now because I'm having a promotion, and so you get 2 free courses, Relationship Synastry, Chiron and the Key to Purpose, and access to my 12-hour-long all sign videos for 2023. They're an hour long each. That's 12 hours of content. All that adds up to a value of about $80, and it's for nothing, for trying me out. You can keep the gifts and leave, so try me out on Patreon. See if you like it. I will hopefully see you there in a smaller and more intimate environment. Thanks for supporting my channel. Don't forget, please hit the like button and please subscribe if you're one of my viewers that are back over and over again. That little subscription button makes a big deal on YouTube for the algorithm. Thank you so very much.